That's how it all started. And the truth is, I wasn't okay at all.
I screamed in agony as my leg got crushed by the gravitational force of 290 pounds.
Will he be all right, doctor?
He has torn his anterior cruciate ligament in his right foot. If he doesn't lose weight as soon as possible, he won't be able to stand on his feet again. His leg can't take the weight.
It's very hard for me to talk about what happened next, but I have to.
Because, thank God, I managed to save myself before it was too late. And in just a few short months after being crippled in bed, with no hope of walking normally ever again, I managed to go from this to this.
My story has already helped 112,700 people regain their lives, and hey, it might save yours too.
This torn ligament was my wake-up call and the start of a journey that led me to discover a controversial breakthrough made by a Japanese doctor who was distinguished by Emperor Akihito of Japan for his contributions to the field of science.
It was through this method that I lost 72 pounds in just 3 months and regained my life, my health, and my body.
And nobody in the West has spoken about this shocking discovery that is the secret behind the famous longevity enjoyed by the Japanese. Until now. It's so powerful and so innovative that it will instantly turn your body into a fat-burning machine, getting rid of all your excess fat like melting butter in a frying pan.
And it's exactly the kind of thing pharmaceutical companies will fight tooth and nail to keep from you.
Maybe you too have been told that your family has fat genes or that your metabolism is broken.
But that's a lie, and I've got evidence to prove it.
Scientists from big universities and research centers like Vanderbilt University Medical Center, Canadian Institute of Health, and Keio University Tokyo have finally agreed the only method to losing weight is at the cellular level. Because if you can't lose weight, that means your healthy cells are being attacked, drowned, and killed by toxins, which are swimming in your bloodstream right now. These toxins profoundly change the structure of your adipose tissue, also known as your fat cells, while also distorting the fat-burning messages your brain receives.
Yes, you heard that right. Excess fat affects the brain.
And for the first time ever, doctors can now explain why overweight people are 22% more likely to suffer from Alzheimer's than thin people. Because these dangerous toxins bind to fat cells and literally shut down your metabolism, causing abnormal inflammation under your skin and prohibiting your fat deposits from shrinking, no matter what you do. And unless you fix the root cause, you'll only gain more fat for the rest of your life, no matter which diet you use. In fact, a simple and shockingly effective adjustment to your everyday routine that you can do right now is all you need.
The same secret I learned from the longest living Japanese doctor, and once you know it too, you'll begin losing fat in minutes.
This simple tweak will allow your body to burn fat extremely fast, while also ensuring that your brain receives the correct fat-burning message from your renewed cells. It works whether you're a man or a woman, regardless of your age, and helps get rid of both excess fat and all the nasty toxins swimming in your bloodstream. The end result is a body that looks like this.
This is how I managed to lose pretty much all the fat that had accumulated on my belly, my arms, and my legs. It saved my life and helped me walk again, so I could finally start living once and again.
My blood flow improved, my energy levels spiked, and I regained my vitality, my sex drive, and my joyful way of being, while still allowing me to eat all my favorite foods, including pasta, burgers, and pizza. Now, you're probably a little skeptical about all this, but I promise you, it's possible. Even I have trouble believing my transformation happened so quickly. And just by applying this trick that addresses the root cause of obesity and turns your body into a fat-burning machine, you'll reach your desired weight goals in no time.
In the following 2 minutes, I'll explain exactly how your fat cells cause inflammation throughout your entire body and why this makes losing weight impossible.
You'll know everything about what scientists call the body's ticking time bomb, which is why after the age of 30, approximately 92% of people start gaining weight faster and faster and never manage to lose it again. You'll also find out how world-renowned Japanese scientists have managed to target this time bomb and activate a reversing switch that each one of us comes equipped with naturally in order to eliminate inflammation, causing massive weight loss and preventing cell deterioration. And I'm going to share the first and the only minimizer of adipose tissue that helped me lose 72 pounds of dangerous fat, to the amazement of my daughter, my wife, and my friends.
I've struggled all my life with being overweight. I've been called a fat cow by strangers. And along with all those extra pounds came a lot of isolation and loneliness. I even began to show symptoms of depression. Then I heard about you, and for the first time in many years, I really started losing weight. 36 pounds in 3 weeks. It's an amazing start, and now I have the courage to go out again. Thank you.
I finally got to see how it felt to be normal, to have a life where you don't think about the fact that nobody likes you, or that you can't buy medical insurance because you're too fat, and where you're not even allowed to eat burgers or pizza. Finally, I'm done with all those restrictions. I have 42 pounds less now, and I feel amazing. Good job, guys.
Yes, it is incredible. These are real people sharing their success stories. And they are all eating their favorite foods again.
This medical method is so powerful, it can turn your body into a fat-burning engine in minutes. And that's not everything. It will also help you get rid of your stress, worries, and anxiety. It'll get your blood sugar and blood pressure back into balance. You'll feel your whole body getting younger and your energy restored. Today, you will discover the secret reason why the Japanese enjoy supple bodies their entire lives and why they look young regardless of their age. Stay with me until the very end because you can melt away pounds of stubborn fat just by watching this video.
Hi, my name is Daniel Wilson, and I'm a systems engineer and information technology teacher at a prestigious high school in Pennsylvania.
I always liked helping teenagers solve problems, and I'm known for being a patient teacher whose door is always open. I have a doctorate in philosophy and a keen interest in science.
To be perfectly honest, I feel a bit embarrassed to talk about my life because I never liked talking about my problems. But this time, what I have to say can actually save lives, so it's more important than anything.
Nobody on this planet was more motivated than me to find a remedy to the disease that took away my bodily freedom and the power to take care of my family. And I did it. I lost 72 pounds in 3 months, and you can too. It's true that my life changed completely due to a momentary lack of attention when I fell and tore my ligament. But the fat had already begun to take over my body after I turned 40, and I didn't understand why this happened to me. Before that, I had a wonderful life, a loving wife named Grace, and a beautiful baby daughter, Annabelle. We were both healthy individuals and always ate what we wanted. I was one of the fittest teachers in my school. Sometimes I'd even stay after classes to play basketball with my students. I was youthful and full of energy. It was this exact vitality that helped me win over Grace, the prettiest girl in my university. But after turning 40, I began to notice that I was gaining weight faster and faster, even though my diet had stayed pretty much the same. My clothes didn't fit me anymore. My energy was gone, and I started feeling tired every day. I craved sweets, snacks, and junk food all the time. I felt tired after walking for a few minutes and could barely go up a flight of stairs without losing my breath. Playing basketball was the farthest thing on my mind at that point.
And when anybody asked me about my weight, I never told them I'd like to lose a few pounds, only that I wanted to get fitter. And that's because I was ashamed of how large I had gotten.
Once I realized that I could barely move anymore, I went to the doctor and told him about my weight problem. I said that I had lost all enjoyment in life and felt more and more tired each day. Honestly, at that point, my sex life was gone too, since it was impossible to be intimate with my wife. And the doctor responded, "Daniel, you're going to have more problems than you can imagine unless you lose weight, and quickly." He said I should go on a diet, take up jogging, and drink plenty of tea.
That was the first day of what turned out to be years of torture,
during which I tried over tens of diets, including paleo, vegan, low-carb, low-fat. Continued, you should know that if you remain overweight, you're 62% more likely to suffer a heart attack, 81% more likely to get coronary disease, and 22% more likely to develop Alzheimer's, not to mention diabetes. That's when I thought about Annabelle and how much I wanted to see her grow up, get married, and maybe even have a few kids of her own. So I closed my eyes and started praying for my life and for a solution that could help me support my family in the future. The next day, I got out of the hospital and thought I had exhausted all options.
But the miracle that transformed my life was yet to come, and today you'll get to live it too.
The day of my discharge was the same day Dr. Shigeki Hinohara was scheduled to hold a conference in the hospital. The Japanese doctor was on a tour to share his knowledge and vast experience with American doctors who came to attend. Back then, I knew nothing about him. Today, I've read 4 of his 150 books that sold millions of copies all around the world. He's the president of the St. Luke Hospital in Tokyo and one of the most well-respected doctors in the world. And the most shocking part to me was that he still weighed 120 pounds, the same weight he had in his 20s, despite his advanced age.
Back at the hospital, right when my wife was struggling to push me out the door in my oversized wheelchair, the famous doctor was walking in.
He must have seen the sorrow and despair on my face because he approached me in a kind manner and asked me what was wrong. I didn't know what to say and hesitated for a bit. By the time I finally began telling him my story, we were surrounded by the press and other doctors, so he couldn't hear a thing. But the doctor didn't give up on me. He passed me his card and told me to call him because he could help me.
I was surprised by our strange meeting, but I didn't have much time to think about it because my wife pushed me into our car, where my cousin Aaron was waiting to take me back home.
The next couple of days were some of the worst of my life as I began to spiral into depression and even thought about whether it was worth it to go on with my life. I couldn't find my place and felt useless being stuck in bed like that. The very next morning, I found Dr. Shigeki's card in my pocket.
At first, I hesitated to call him. I didn't know what to say to him, and I felt embarrassed. In the end, I did it. It's now or never, I said in my mind.
Hello? Dr. Shigeki? My name is Daniel Wilson. We met in the hospital. I was the guy in the wheelchair. Daniel, I'm glad you called me. After telling him my story and the fact that I was about to be a prisoner in a wheelchair for life because of my weight, the doctor told me that my weight gain would not stop regardless of which diet or exercise program I went on. That's because all overweight bodies suffered from inflammation on a cellular level, which results in rapid weight gain and all the health problems that go with that.
What? I said in my mind, and the doctor continued.
It has nothing to do with diet or exercise, as everyone thinks. We're talking about a significant slowdown of metabolism due to the inflammation in your adipose tissue, fat cells, caused by certain toxins in the bloodstream. So in order to lose weight, you have to eliminate inflammation caused by cells in your adipose tissue, and then all the extra pounds will naturally go away on their own, along with the health concerns.
The doctor also said he had exactly what I needed to start the process of healing myself. But first, he had to explain a few things.
We switched to Skype so I could see him. You probably know that when your body suffers from inflammation, it doesn't respond to your fat-burning efforts. It's like having an infection and trying to cure yourself with aspirin without having taken the right antibiotic to address the root cause of your disease. So when you're overweight, dieting is not the solution. You need proper treatment. That's why for people who continuously put on fat, their body ceases to transform food into energy and they never stop feeling hungry. Then the food they eat turns into fat once again until they're too tired to even walk. Now you understand why it's not your fault that you've put on weight, no matter the diet. In fact, you'll make things worse by depriving your body of certain nutrients it needs, and this leads to other diseases. Obesity has risen every year and continues to rise exponentially. It's estimated that by 2050, 60% of all Americans will be obese, and diet fads are a big reason for that. They are promoted by a vast and powerful industry that relies on selling you diet products month after month, keeping you hooked on their products for life.
I was surprised when I first heard this. Then I realized the doctor was right. All the products I bought until then did nothing to help me, even though I paid thousands for their supposed weight loss cures.
Here in Japan, we have a different lifestyle and a healthy population, the doctor continued. We invested in a huge amount of research in order to discover the secret to a long and happy life. Studies have shown that overweight people get sick 5 times faster than thin people. They also live 15 years less on average and suffer from multiple conditions, especially after the age of 35 when things rapidly start deteriorating. That's why it's called the body's ticking time bomb. So if you've been blaming yourself for not sticking to your diet rigorously enough, know that neither dieting nor exercise can help you in this situation. Let me explain something about this type of inflammation, or as we call it in the medical profession, chronic accumulation of macrophages in the body's fatty tissues. We started studying the existing fat on overweight people's stomachs, and it revealed the existence of certain cells called macrophages, which were found along the lines of stomach nerves and in other parts of the body. Macrophages lead to the accumulation of fat in the area in which they are located because they cause the death of adipocyte cells. These are the cells that help regulate body fat by burning calories. If they're dead and replaced by macrophages, they change the entire structure of the adipose tissue, enlarging it continuously through a destructive process of inflammation that happens under your skin. At the same time, macrophage cells distort the signals that your brain receives from your adipocyte cell to turn on the fat-burning process, leading to the accumulation of fat and creating a favorable environment for other diseases, such as Alzheimer's. So, once these invasive macrophages lodge themselves deeply into your subdermal tissue, they cause inflammation, preventing calories from being burned. And the longer they remain in your adipose tissue, the greater the risk of serious disease. This also explains why your stomach is the first area to balloon in size when you start gaining weight, because that's where macrophages migrate most easily.
It was true. In my case, the fat started to show on my belly first and only grew from there.
Start minimizing your adipose tissue right now by doing this thing in the morning, after breakfast, the doctor said, and sent me a Word document via email. It is extremely important. I do it every morning, and it's what will save your life. Unfortunately, I have to go now, but keep your spirits up, and I'm certain you can beat this. Oh, and don't forget to send me some pictures in 3 months.
I thanked the good doctor and immediately started reading the document he sent.
It was a list of ingredients in varying proportions that had to be mixed and prepared in precise order. It also explained how this mix affects your body. The first stage is detoxifying your body and immediately stopping the inflammation in your adipose tissue. It starts with the action of an herb called schizandra, which is one of the most powerful antioxidants in the world, with a strong detoxifying effect. Exactly what you need to fight inflammation. This plant, when combined with a few minerals carefully chosen by Dr. Shigeki, acts like a vacuum cleaner to cleanse and detox your issues. Stage 2, eliminating the inflammation by removing the macrophage cells from your fat tissue. Bladderwrack is a special algae from the depths of the Pacific Ocean that makes your cells more fluid so the macrophage cells are more easily detached and removed. Many doctors agree this algae is the answer to unwanted inflammation and helping you create a strong immune system and healthy gut. Copper is an essential nutrient for the body. Together with iron and iodine, it enables the body to form red blood cells. It helps maintain healthy bones, blood vessels, nerves, and immune function. This locks the macrophage cell out and doesn't allow them to get back into the adipose tissue. Stage 3, rebuilding the connection between your healthy new cells and your nerves and restoring the healthy transmission of brain messages. Cayenne pepper will boost your metabolism and stimulate the nerves in your stomach to send fat-burning signals to your brain. It will also improve digestion immediately and reduce hunger in just minutes. In combination with L-tyrosine, which produces neurotransmitters that help nerve cells communicate better, the fat-burning process starts immediately. Tyrosine is particularly important in the production of epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine, which are essential hormones that keep you energetic, focused, and motivated through the process. Stage 4, removing fat buildups from your entire body and the source of all diseases caused by it. Ashwagandha is a potent fat burner that gives you energy, improves your resistance, and reduces stress. Together with one of the 3 kelp species that reduce waist circumference, body, and liver fat, this will eliminate fat at an accelerated pace without allowing new fat to get back in. This way, we stop the process of fat reaccumulation. Kelp also decreases post-meal blood sugar levels and increases HDL levels, which helps prevent heart disease associated with diabetes. Next on the list were 7 more vitamins, plants, and minerals, all with functions as complex as the ones mentioned before, to boost the effects of the 4 stages, eliminate toxins, and combat oxidative stress in order to regain a young, supple look of your body, hair, skin, and nails.
But the difficulty of gathering these ingredients from all over the world, from the purest of sources, while respecting the preparation ritual, convinced me I needed help again.
That's when I contacted a childhood friend of mine, Michael Gray, a passionate medical researcher and nutrition expert, to help me with this lab, because I had to make sure I was doing everything by the book. Plus, Michael had a personal interest in helping anyone with weight problems, since his own mother had suffered a tragic heart attack brought on by obesity a few years ago. He had 30 years of experience working in the nutrition and natural medicine space, so that made him the ideal fit.
Seeing the list of ingredients, Michael answered a question that I didn't get to ask the doctor.
Exactly how do macrophages manage to get deep into the subdermal layer of the body and cause people like me and you to become overweight? Michael indirectly answered my question and told me these ingredients were some of the most powerful purgers of heavy metals, poisons, and radiation from the body. The same type of toxins that reared their ugly heads in recent years, along with the mass industrialization of our world. Toxins such as BPA, which is found all over the world in cans of food, plastics, and soda drinks. Or TBT, which is found in paint, pesticides, and vinyl products. Or PFOA, which is found in Teflon cookware that soaks in your food as you cook. Once you come into contact with these toxins, they enter your bloodstream and determine those macrophage cells, whose natural role is to protect the body from infection, to migrate into your adipose tissue and cause inflammation all over your body. It's just a matter of time before this ticking time bomb runs out, just like Dr. Shigeki said. That's why we need all these detoxifying ingredients, which I already mentioned. And once we are detoxified, the body naturally starts shedding its fat.
This is the true cause of weight gain, and this is why the obesity pandemic keeps expanding every year in the United States and the entire world, and it will continue to expand because the real cause is not being treated.
It's also why year after year, the percentage of those affected by obesity gets higher and higher.
Then Michael showed me tens of studies around the world related to macrophage cells and the direct link between them, the fat-gaining process and the aging process, the same ticking time bomb everyone kept mentioning to me. Let's take a fast look together at some of the studies. After analyzing these studies in the light of Dr. Shigeki's 4 stages of burning fat, we knew what we had to do.
We sourced the ingredients from all over the world through Michael's scientific contacts and only worked with certified producers and verified suppliers, making sure that for our recipe, we only used the very best of ingredients. And even though it was exhausting, in the end, we got what we wanted. We worked day and night, testing until dawn, making sure we got the right quantities and the most effective combination of ingredients. And while we were preparing the formula, Michael said that it would be a lot more efficient if we were to bottle these active ingredients in easy-to-swallow capsules instead of tea.
Because this way, no one could get the ratios wrong and the effect would be more powerful. And he was right. I agreed right away.
And in the end, there it was. We had the magic pill.
And I wanted to try it as soon as possible.
After only 1 day on the treatment, I noticed that I felt lighter and more energized. After 3 days, the pounds started dropping very quickly. My wife and my cousin helped me get on the counter, and I started crying. I'd already lost 6 pounds without changing my diet.
That's when I knew the doctor's recipe was starting to work.
By the end of the week, I dropped another 8 pounds, and it didn't stop there, because after just 4 weeks, I lost an incredible 42 pounds.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked in the mirror.
My huge belly fat was going away by the day. My body started regaining its former athletic shape, and my skin was glowing.
Overall, I looked 10 years younger.
But the most important thing is that I finally managed to lift myself out of the wheelchair. By this point, I'd already lost 72 pounds. My body was full of energy, and I regained the same strength in my arms and legs that I had in my 20s. I couldn't believe my prayer had actually come true, and even my doctor was shocked. Because when I came back for my checkup, he didn't even recognize me for a few seconds. And he may not have recognized me at all if he didn't notice my wife next to me.
He considered me a modern-day miracle.
Also, that night, me and my wife had the most amazing, passionate time of our lives. As we lay there glowing in each other's arms, giddy and in love again, in a way we hadn't been before, neither of us could believe it.
We had done it. I was my old self again, walking on my own 2 legs again, being thin, healthy, and strong like an ox.
The excess fat on my belly, arms, and legs was gone. My body was back to how it was when I played basketball with my students. And believe me, I had done it without any strenuous exercise or dieting.
It was at this point that I was convinced it was a miracle.
God had blessed us by revealing the most unexpected formula, and me and my family had the time of our lives. You can't imagine how wonderful it is to have this new freedom. I was feeling so energetic, so confident, and most of all, I was happy again.
My mission was now clear. I had to share this amazing discovery to help other people.
Because this treatment is the only product in existence that acts as a single solution against the toxins that negatively impact macrophage cells.
So I spoke to Michael to test it on more people. But before that, we decided that our treatment had to succeed with these 3 things.
First, it had to work for everyone. Those who had just 5 pounds extra, as well as those who were overweight by 100 pounds or more, like I was, and anywhere in between. Second, it had to deliver results in less than 90 days, because I know people are busy and they cannot wait for a long time to see results. Third, it had to be backed up with multiple independent studies.
I knew this was vital to show the more skeptical people that the solution really does work for them and is proven by science.
Thanks to Michael's contacts, we were able to find 150 volunteers, men and women from all walks of life, from 24-year-olds right up to 80-year-olds, and people whose weight ranged from 150 pounds to 420 pounds. They all agreed to try our treatment for 90 days. They each received a form to fill out weekly reports on their progress, and I was prepared to wait for at least a week for the initial reports to come back.
But what happened next was amazing.
After 2 or 3 days, I was getting calls from everyone in the study claiming that they started losing weight. They couldn't believe it.
So I encouraged them to stick with taking their pills and continue tracking their progress. And when I went to collect the reports, the results were mind-blowing.
The average weight loss in the group was 56 pounds. In fact, all of them had lost at least 41 pounds, and the majority lost more than 60 pounds. But that wasn't everything. Their health was better than ever, because our treatment also detoxed their body and internal organs from the disrupting chemicals and rebalanced their hormones. When describing their experience, everybody, without exception, noted that their body fat was melting, their energy levels were high, their sex drive was on the rise, and their quality of their sleep was better.
Here are just a few of their experiences.
Ever since I can remember, I've always had problems with my weight. I was a chubby teenager, and throughout the years, I've been on every imaginable diet. I did all sorts of treatments with pills, and what generally happened was that I'd lose 8 pounds and then gain 12 back. After hitting 226 pounds, I started feeling lethargic and out of breath. My legs and back began to hurt and my blood pressure increased. Michael convinced me to participate in the study. Honestly, I couldn't believe my eyes. 48 pounds in less than 90 days. I didn't believe you could lose weight so easily, especially after an entire lifetime of struggle with all sorts of diets.
I feel like I'm the luckiest woman on earth for having the opportunity to participate in this study. I had an extra 80 pounds to lose, and it's the first time in my life when I saw such spectacular results. In just 90 days, I lost 52 pounds without side effects and without starving. And it's not just the weight. I now sleep better and feel like I've regained my energy and well-being. And after a long time, I'm finally happy again. My husband, too. Thank you for this opportunity.
We named this miracle Adimin. We now have a natural treatment for addressing even the worst cases of uncontrolled belly fat. It contains no harmful chemicals, doesn't require a prescription, and works automatically.
Not only for me, but for more than 112,700 people all over the world, and it will work for you too. That's why I'm sharing my incredible discovery here today.
So that one day, hopefully, we'll be able to turn this powerful natural remedy into the standard treatment for obesity, replacing all those harmful, ineffective medications that are being overprescribed today, and the countless exercise and nutrition plans that just don't work. I figured that to make people sit up and take notice, we needed to get as many life-changing stories as possible.
Your success is my only weapon against Big Pharma, who are undoubtedly going to try hard to stop us because they can't patent any of the natural ingredients in this formula.
I know for a fact they won't replicate this formula because they'll make billions more by treating the symptoms and consequences rather than the root cause. We are an absolute nightmare for them, and I know they're going to do whatever they can to shut us down, blocking us from getting into big drugstores and health food shops.
That's why we've decided not to delay our launch and instead make the formula available to everyone on this site right now.
Adimin is the first powerful and effective adipose tissue minimizer in the world. And it's also the first ever all-natural treatment that targets the actual root cause of excess body fat brought about by obesogens like pollution and exposure to toxins. Our production facility is both GMP certified and FDA registered, and everything is made here in the United States to guarantee the highest possible levels of purity, potency, and safety. We source the best quality ingredients from plant extracts and turn them into small and easy-to-swallow capsules with incredible results. Then we ship them straight to your door. The capsules are non-GMO and do not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins because, let's be honest, you should never take risks when it comes to your health, and that's why we won't cut any corners.
Losing weight with Adimin is simple and effective.
Imagine never having to endure the pain and frustrations of yo-yo dieting and depriving yourself of your favorite foods again. Imagine employing a completely healthy life, and imagine never having to worry about your weight ever again. Just imagine it for a second. Truly let yourself feel what it would be like.
How much would that be worth?
$5,000? $10,000? $100,000? It's of course not something that you can put a price tag on because the results are priceless.
Now, you should know that for this formula to work, as Dr. Shigeki said, the ingredients need to be of the highest quality, so as to keep the price low and to be able to cover the costs, as well as getting this message out to as many people and as quickly as possible.
So you're not going to have to pay anything close to $10,000. You won't even have to pay the $600 that a business consultant suggested was fair, or even half of what he suggested. Because today, I'm going to do something that's somewhat risky. You see, although $297 is more than a fair price, especially when you consider that many customers have told us that without all those cravings, they're saving more in food costs alone every month.
I know the fear, pain, and helplessness of gaining pound after pound and not being able to do anything to stop this, and that's something I don't want others to experience. The last thing I want is for anyone else to needlessly suffer like I did, just because they can't afford this solution.
So I'm not going to ask you for $297. I'm not even going to ask you for half of that. Today, I'm going to give you a full 30-day supply of Adimin for a simple one-time fee of only $69.
Yep, that's right. Just $69. But I can't keep it at that price for long. It's going to be very costly to fight big corporations and try getting it on the shelves of major health stores.
That's when I'll have to charge everyone the full $297. So you need to act now to guarantee that you won't be paying more. But before you secure your supply, I need to make something very clear. To see the best health-improving benefits and maximum weight loss results, you're going to want to take Adimin for at least 90 days straight, one capsule every morning after breakfast. That's because after so many years of being overloaded with toxins, you will need enough time to properly detoxify and reinvigorate your whole body and give it the space it needs to eliminate those dangerous macrophage cells and the inflammation that comes with them. And because I can't promise how long I'll be able to keep it at today's price, I would hate to know that when you come back to order your next 30-day supply, you'd find that either the price has gone up, or even worse, that the big corporations have somehow managed to put me out of business.
So I strongly suggest that you secure enough bottles to last you for 90 days at the very least, because I would absolutely hate for you to end up being disappointed.
So here's the deal. When you order 3 bottles of Adimin today, I'm going to let you have them for just $59 each. Better still, order 6 bottles and I'll give them to you today for only $49 each. That's a huge $1,500 you'd be saving all at once. Plus, if it wasn't enough, as an added bonus for every order of 3 or more bottles, I'm going to ship them to you today for free. But these massive discounts and free shipping opportunities are only available right here, right now.
If you leave this page without securing your discount, I can't promise you'll see this opportunity again. So do the right thing for yourself and your loved ones right now.
You'll see 3 money-saving options below this video. Select your package and then click the Buy Now button to proceed to our secure order page. Fill in your information and confirm your order through our 100% safe and secure order form. and we'll get your package sent directly to your door right away. And don't worry, this is a one-time payment only with no subscriptions or hidden charges. I hate those things as much as you do. But to avoid disappointment, you're going to need to act fast. Click below to secure your package. Don't let the low price today fool you.
Adimin is extremely powerful and will work for you as it has for the 112,700 others who have tried it so far. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's true, and if you're a little skeptical, I completely understand. I was too at first.
After all, we've been lied to and manipulated our entire lives into believing that diets and exercise are the only paths to losing weight. Because, of course, the billion-dollar weight loss industry will never tell you that there's a quick, easy, and natural way to burn belly fat and curb hunger.
So here's what I'm going to do for you to prove how confident I am that this formula will work with absolutely zero risk on your part. I'm prepared to back your order with a 100% satisfaction guarantee that works like this.
If within 60 days you're unhappy with your results, I'll give you every cent of your money back. That's right. Just send me an email and I'll pay you every cent back. No questions asked, even if the bottle is completely empty. Who else has the confidence to make such a bold promise like that?
I'm willing to put it all on the line because I know you'll finally be able to reach that slim figure you're after.
In fact, if Adimin didn't work for you, I wouldn't want to keep your money anyway. Just let me know if you're not fully satisfied, and I will insist on refunding you. Does that sound fair? This risk-free proposition makes this one of the easiest decisions of your life. But again, I urge you to act now to secure your supply while this deal lasts. Adimin is so effective and powerful that word is starting to spread extremely fast. Men and women across the world are now discovering this amazing formula for themselves, and most are ordering a long-term supply just in case. Not only for losing fat in the short term, but also for keeping it off for good, detoxifying their system, and returning their body to its former glory.
It's incredibly satisfying for me to receive so many thank you letters and before and after pictures, and it's looking like demand is going to start outpacing supply really soon.
These high-quality ingredients are not easy to source, so stock could run out with very little notice. And when it does, it could be 6 months or longer before we're able to get more. I would hate for that to happen to you, because once you finally start to shed that unwanted body fat and reveal the sexy figure that lies underneath, the last thing you want to see when you come back to this site is an out-of-stock message. I promise you, it's not a risk worth taking.
So make sure you secure your supply today so that you don't have to worry. As soon as you place your order, we'll get your bottles in the mail immediately. You'll be able to start right away.
You'll take just one easy-to-swallow capsule every morning after breakfast and watch as your body transforms before your very eyes. Your clothes will feel looser, and after the first week, you'll feel lighter than before, and your midsection will have already started to thin out. Energy levels will return to normal. Your friends and family will wonder what in the world you've been doing to achieve such an incredible transformation.
And don't forget, you have a full 60 days, 2 whole months to test it out risk-free. That's why this is one of the easiest decisions of your life.
It's time to take action now for your figure and your health. Take back control and start living the right way with a self-confidence boost you haven't experienced in years.
You might not realize it, but right now you're standing at an important crossroads in your life. You can choose to go down 2 very different paths.
One that leads to a lifetime of energy and passion, where you'll love your new body and turn heads everywhere you go, feeling proud when you look in the mirror, and where you no longer have to put up with complicated diets, rigorous exercise programs, or unnecessary health complications. The other path is to simply continue getting frustrated by the yo-yo results you've gotten before.
Listen closely to your options so that you can make the choice that's right for you.
Option number 1, choose to do exactly what the mainstream health industry wants. Keep on dieting, exercising, and perhaps losing a bit of weight just to regain it all back and more shortly after. If you go with this option, keep in mind that you'll never be able to eat what you want. And you'll probably never break free from the cycle of yo-yo dieting and endless amounts of frustration and self-doubt. That's how the weight loss industry is set up. They don't want you to reach your goals. because that way you'll keep spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars on their expensive products. I bet you already know the outcome of taking this option because you've experienced it many times before. That feeling of hopelessness of being trapped in a body you hate, or feeling guilty because you're not grinding away hour upon hour every week in the gym, wondering why it's so hard for you to obtain and most importantly maintain that slim and sexy figure you crave. That feeling of getting heavier and more exhausted week after week, wondering why you've lost your youthful body and zest for life.
I know you don't want that.
The average American spends $112,000 over their lifetime in an attempt to lose weight, and that's just the financial cost. The terrible impact on confidence, energy levels, health, and relationships is even worse.
So would you truly want to take such a risk just to save a few dollars? Because the truth is that if you made it this far through my message, I know you're sick of being a prisoner of your unwanted body fat, pretending you're okay with how you are right now, even though you know you're not. Yearning for that slender figure of your youth. And the reality is that it may get even worse if you don't take action right now.
Your arms and legs could expand even more until you can't wear your favorite blouse or pants. Nobody has the right to judge someone else, but the reality is that this is the world we live in, one populated by comments like, "Wow, you've really let yourself go," and snide remarks about your weight cut deep and suck the soul out of you as quickly as the weight piles on.
So let's face it, the only real option you have is this. Invest a one-time payment in Adimin today and put the formula to a risk-free test for 60 days.
Just imagine what you'll look like in a few weeks from now. You'll be standing in front of your mirror with a tape measure in your hands and a smile on your face that won't disappear. Your stomach, arms, and hips so lean. You'll be thinking, "This isn't my body. It can't be." You'll have to pinch yourself just to prove it's really you. Imagine how good that will feel. No more shame or guilt over another failed exercise or diet plan. No more worrying about following bland and boring diets, waving your favorite foods goodbye. No more low energy levels that zap you of your passion for life and hurt your relationships with the people that you care most about. No more feeling disgusted about what your partner thinks of you or of your expanded midsection when you look in the mirror. And no more counting calories or trying useless fad diets.
The decision is yours. Now we're being honest and open with each other, and I don't want you to miss out. So if you want to opt for the smart decision, click a package below to place your order.
Also remember that you're covered by our 60-day money-back guarantee. So even if you're not thrilled with your new slim and sexy figure after you finish your supply, simply let us know for a full and immediate refund. There's no risk here, and there's no way you can go wrong. Try Adimin right now and get started on making your weight loss dreams come true.
People told me this will not work. Will not work. But for the first time in my life, it does work. 46 pounds less in 2 months.
My results were 28 pounds in the first month.